Strongest military in the world. When I'm president, we're going to have a real war on terror. And here's what it's going to look like. The best intelligence agencies in the world are going to tell us who the terrorists are and where they are. And the best military in the world is going to destroy them. And if we capture any of them alive, they're not getting a lawyer, they're not getting a court hearing, they're getting a one-way ticket to Guantanamo, and we are going to find out everything they know. Everything they know. And we're going to take care of our veterans. What we're doing now in this country to veterans is immoral. It's immoral. If any of you are veterans or your family has served, we thank you for their service and your service. This nation can never pay you back for everything you've done for us. But what we do to our veterans now is unacceptable. You have a record number of veterans committing suicide, who are unemployed, and waiting in long lines to be seen at the VA. This is going to change. First of all, we're going to make it easier when I'm president for people to take the skills they learned in the military and apply them to civilian life so they can find a job. If you were driving a truck with explosives on a dirt road in Afghanistan, you're going to tell me you're not qualified to haul eggs on the interstate highway system of the United States? We're going to make it easier for people to take their skills that they learned in the military and apply it to civilian life in the private sector. And we're going to fix the VA. There are good people at the VA, okay? There are really good people working there. And then there are some people that are not doing their jobs. When I'm president, those people will be fired. They'll be fired. And the VA benefits are going to belong to our veteran, which means they'll be able to take their VA benefit to any hospital or any doctor they want to go to, not have to wait in long lines to be seen. And we're going to get this right for our veterans once and for all. So in closing, let me just say that America's a great country, but it's a great country in decline. If we stay on the road we're on right now, we're going to have to explain to our kids why they're the first Americans ever to inherit a country worse off than the ones their parents got. I don't want to have that conversation. 2016 is a turning point. That's what history will say. History will write that 2016 was a turning point in American history. What kind of turning point is what we're about to decide, what you're about to decide here in New Hampshire. It will either be the year where America rediscovers the things that made her great and applies those things to the challenges and the opportunities of the 21st century, or it will be the year where America stayed on the road it was on and remained an important country, but no longer a special one. The good news is that the decline America now faces is not inevitable. We are not a weak people. We are not a weak nation. We just have a weak president. And in 2016, we can change that. This is why Hillary Clinton can't be the next president. She's disqualified from being the commander-in-chief. She lied to the families of those people who died in Benghazi. She irresponsibly stored highly classified information on her server, leaving it exposed to North Korea, to the Chinese, to the Russians. Bernie Sanders is an avowed democratic socialist. At least he's honest about it. He should run for president of Norway. Or one of those countries that are nice countries, but they have a different model of economics. We want to be America. I know this, the Democrats don't want to run against me. They've admitted it, and they show it every day in their attacks. They are obsessed. They attack me every day, more than any other Republican candidate, because they know I will beat Hillary Clinton. She doesn't want to run against me, but I can't wait to run against her, because we will win. We can't just nominate any Republican either, because we need a president as committed to undoing what Barack Obama did as he was to doing it in the first place. We can't afford a president that agrees with Barack Obama on some key issues. We can't afford a president that calculates every one of their political positions in order to gain votes at the expense of the truth and the American people. This is an important election. And by the way, this election is not just a choice between competing political parties. This election is a generational choice about our identity as a nation and as a people. For me, this is deeply personal, because America is not just the country I was born in. It's the country that literally changed the history of my family. When my parents arrived here in 1956, neither one of them had much of an education. They barely spoke English at the time. They had no money and no connections. My father had it particularly difficult because when he was 4 days shy of his 9th birthday, his mother died. which meant as a child he had to go work, and he never went back to school. They came here with nothing. And what's amazing is that less than a decade later, they owned a home, working as a bartender and a cashier at a coffee shop on Miami Beach. They owned a home. 25 years after that, they retired with dignity and security. And they lived to see all 4 of their children have a better life than their own. There is no other place in the history of mankind where that would be possible, because this is an exceptional country. And that wasn't an accident. You know why America was exceptional? Because the people who came before us did what they had to do. Each generation of American did what they had to do. Each generation before us for 200 years said, we are going to solve our problems, not leave them for our kids. We're going to solve them. And because they did, we were blessed to inherit the greatest nation on earth. Now it's our turn. Now the time has come for us to do our part. And when I'm president, we will. When I am president, we are going to re-embrace all of the things that made America special, and we are going to apply them to the unique challenges of the 21st century. And let me tell you something, we are not just going to save the American dream. We are going to expand it to reach more people and change more lives than ever before. And when our work is done, if we do what needs to be done, if you give me your vote and I'm elected president, they will say that the 21st century wasn't just as good as the 20th century, it was better. It was a new American century. So I am here today, and I hope I can earn your vote. We're not far away now from you being the first primary in the nation. And I hope that whether it's here today or in the days to come, not only will I earn your support, but I will encourage you to go out and find other people to vote for us. Because we can and will turn this country around if we make the right choice. And I hope I can convince you here today that the right choice is me. So thank you for listening.